I am so excited to be unboxing this breathtaking A500W in gold that won your vote for Watch of the Week. But will it be blingy or will it be elegant? Let's find out. And unlike some of my previous watches, we are going to make sure it's protected for the next 1 week that it's on my wrist, so stick around. There is a distinct lack of a gold watch in my collection, which is why I am so hype to have this A500W be our first watch of the week of 2024. So let's get straight into it. All right, let's take a peek. Oh, it's covered by the instructions. All right, here we go. Oh, yes. Look at how shiny this is. Oh, my God. Yes. Let's get it out. Oh, my Lord. Absolutely gorgeous. And I must admit, this watch is actually a little bit thicker than I'd imagined. For some reason, I kind of thought it would be the thickness of an F91. So for reference, I have grabbed my F91W, which we'll compare it with, and also the A700W, which is probably the thinnest watch that I own. What a beast. So cool. Oh yeah, love that golden clasp. Although, I must say, it is a bit disappointing that the sides of this clasp are just silver steel. Really would have liked that to be a consistent gold. What do you guys think? All right, my favorite part. Oh, yes. Now, I will say, one other little thing I have noticed. Check it out. The little clasp here, look. Silver under there as well. It's almost like they've just sprayed this metal with some kind of a gold paint perhaps. So hopefully in the long term, this bracelet actually stays this beautiful gold color. All right, now let's bust out the calipers to take a better look at this. And while you're down here, check this out. I've actually just reorganized my whole desk. So I've got a few of these toolboxes now. This one's got all my watch parts in it. And then this one just here, I've got all of my tools neatly arranged. So let's get these calipers out. There they are. So let's measure the thickness of these watches and then we'll get this watch on for a wrist check. So the A500W is coming in at 9.7 millimeters, all right? Whereas the F91W, which I thought it would be about this thin, it's actually 8.7 millimeters, so a bit shorter. And then the A700W, which I feel like is my thinnest watch, just 6.3. Good Lord. So without further ado, let's get it on for a wrist check. At the moment, we are wearing my GWM5610U, which was one of my most popular videos, if you missed it, where we upgraded it with this cool Mecha G-Shock kit. So let's whack it on and see what we've got. Oh, it's already sized quite nicely, actually. Could be a little bit tighter. But there we go. There it is on my 6.5-inch wrist, or 16.5 centimeters. Very stunning indeed. Now, I have noticed that the band is actually quite rigid. See how it kind of won't go any more folded than that? Whereas with the A700W, I found that it can really go a lot more of a fold. But both of these straps use the same clasp mechanism, which is extremely easy to adjust. So I'll just use one of my spring bar tools to pop this up. Just like that. Now let's get it nicely sized. So you do want it to have a little bit of breathing room. I reckon about there. So to lock it in, we just fold that down and press it. There we go. Locked in. Beautiful. Oh yeah. All right, so first impressions, be honest. Do you think it's more like classy and elegant, or do you think it's more blingy of a watch? Let me know below. But in terms of comfort, I must admit I can definitely feel the additional presence on my wrist compared to the A700W, which I barely notice I'm wearing. And hopefully, much like the A700W with these straps, I don't get any arm hair pulls because that can be quite painful. Now, if you missed my original review of the A700W, I'll leave a link for you to watch that one just here. But unlike this watch that has 3 buttons, I'm really pleased that the A500 has 4, as being symmetrical has always been something I preferred, and it's always irked me that some of the more classic Casios just have 3 buttons. And speaking of buttons, damn, these ones are gold, which I have not had on any of my Casio watches before, except ones that I've modded, so I'm really pleased to see that. And we do still, of course, have a silver case back made of stainless steel, which I guess kind of matches this little silver buckle. Why isn't this gold, Casio? One of the main features that drew me to this watch is the inclusion of the world map up here, a signature of the infamous Casio Royale or AE1200. Now, what's the one thing you notice about these two maps? That's right, they are both in green, and that's because I truly believe that the green map is the best version, as it's always how I see land represented on world maps. Now, I will say there is also a variant of the A500W with a sort of grey map, which I'll show you just here, which is also pretty cool. And there's also a silver version of this watch, two versions actually, one of which has the grey map variant, and then this super dope blue map version, which if I had to pick a silver one, I'd go with this one. Now, if you would like to join me this Watch of the Week and get your hands on any of the cool colours of the A500W, I'll leave a link to all variations for you in the description below. And feel free to tell your partner that Goat Reviews told you to get one. That's your excuse. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bubble says ram the like button because now it's time to go through all the features of the A500W. Hey, why are you wearing my watch? You're a dog, you can't tell the time. On our home menu, we have the map, the day, the date, and of course the time. But what's our next mode? We have world time. Okay, so this is where we cycle through the various different zones on the map. Really, really cool. Next up, we have an alarm. Now, how many do we have? 3, 4, 5. Awesome. It's always good to see 5 alarms there. Next up, we have the timer. Now, you know me here at... this is the second time that's happened. I always get the timer confused with the stopwatch. Okay, so we have a countdown timer, and we have the stopwatch. Now, you know me here at Goat Reviews, we are going to try and stop this on exactly 10 seconds, and if we do, you have to ram that like button, if you haven't already. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10:23. That's nothing impressive at all. And after that, we are back to the home time. Now, there is one other feature that I wanted to try. In our review of the AE1200, which is here if you missed it, Hans let us know that there's a secret menu you can do. Well, not really a menu, but if you hold down this button, it'll actually start cycling, sort of like a little demo of all of the different time zones. So I'd really like to see if the map on the A500W does that as well. Let's give that a try. It does indeed. Very cool. Oh, and I nearly forgot the backlight test. Let's check it out. Here we go. Whoa, look at that. Covers up the whole screen, and even the world map you can see quite legibly. And now is the time to protect this breathtaking watch, because let me tell you, there is no way I want to see a scratch on this over the next 1 week. So I've got my toolbox here, and I have preemptively bought a screen protector, among others. In fact, I've kind of gone a bit crazy lately and bought a ton of screen protectors. I'm really into them at the moment. It's a very small investment that really does a number to protect your screen from scratches. So let's get out the... Where is it? I'm sure I bought a A500. Guys, I don't know what I was thinking. I swear I thought I bought an A500W screen protector, but obviously I didn't. But we do have a bunch of different options here, so we're going to try and find the most similar. I did buy, just in case I had some that didn't quite fit, I bought these kind of way too big, just like they're like for a camera screen. So what I might actually do is just kind of cut this to size and see if that'll work. That should fit. Sweet. All right, now check this out. I've got another little tool here. It's a corner cutter, which I picked up on AliExpress for, I think it was $3 as well. So let's just neaten up these corners and then we'll whack it on. Look at that. Much better. Yeah, that should be more than enough protection. I don't know. Nah, you know what? Let's just use one of the others that, like, It didn't quite fit either, but it actually looked a bit better than this, so scrap this one. All right, so I've figured out that this W800H is actually really, really similar. Okay, so we will use this one. Ah, there we go. See, that looks much cleaner than the hack job I did with that cutter. So good stuff. That'll be more protected over the next 1 week. So like I said, guys, it's always worth the couple of buck investment to have a screen protector on your watch, in my opinion. And if you want to get your hands on the protectors or any of the tools or parts we've used today, I'll leave links for you below. And I must say, I am so proud to have this on my watch now. I basically feel invincible.
So what you're saying is, I'm indestructible.
Oh, no, no. In fact, even a slight breeze could...
Indestructible.
Make sure you are a subscriber so you don't miss my 1 week review of this gorgeous Casio A500W. And while you're down there, let me know, do you think this watch is more elegant or blingy? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here's some more great content for you to watch next, and here's a link to our Twitter profile. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.